And we are underway. The other night, Arkansas with that 71-point win at Florida State, but they didn't shoot the ball extremely well, just 31%. Curious to see back on their home court whether they can put forth a better effort. But again, this is a tough UCLA team.
Yeah, they kind of, on defense, they kind of stay in front of you, UCLA. Now, then that's a good call there by the official. And a lot of this, like any game, will come to how is the game officiated. And so for Arkansas, the tighter it is called, the more beneficial. That usually suits the home team better. If it's a rough and tumble, beat-you-up game, that's going to favor a big UCLA team.
Bruins a little bit short-handed, too, so I don't think they want to see a few of their starters on the bench.
Wide open, great pass by Dowda. And that's going to be the key to this upset if Arkansas gets it. Can Arkansas beat UCLA? Absolutely they can. But they're going to have to hit threes. UCLA makes some threes, too. But as Coach Close told us yesterday, that's kind of not how they are built, to just gun a lot of three-pointers. Arkansas can get hot. They'll be hard to beat in here. That's against anybody.
This is a good Bruins shooting team, averaging 52% from the field, third best in the country. They do have size, but it was taken away there by Talia Scott with the steal.
Yeah, UCLA they're unique in what they do, and that's one reason they're good, but they're a big team. They're not the most athletic team, though. They're big. They've got a couple good athletes, but Arkansas is going to test them because Arkansas's got quick guards and very smart guards. If you make a three right here, you're already up 6-0. You put them on their heels.
Dowda steps out, launches the three ball, back-to-back triples for the Razorbacks, and that's not how the Bruins drew this thing up because they know Arkansas is going to shoot threes. They attempted 41 the other night. They wanted to make them difficult. High percentage look. Betts just posted up Dowda and scored easily.
Yeah, that's how they got to score. They're built more by scoring twos, and Arkansas can drill threes, or they can get to the basket like that and score. Talia Scott, I think she's a top 10 player in the country right now as a freshman, and we may be underestimating her. She may end up being a first-team All-American.
Get a high percentage look here, contested, and Betts
matched against the big mismatch for Arkansas.
That was the right read for Scott. She had the speed advantage, but she didn't finish, and now the Bruins come back with numbers. Open look for Kiki Rice. Big hit for the Bruins. Rice.
Spin on her shot. She had 28, 11, 24, 11, and 8 against UConn. Now, UConn's got some issues. They got a lot of injuries, but it's still UConn.
Osborne fell down, but Duga Leach.
She's getting back now.
Gets up slowly. Bruins, though, back in front by a point. That was just taken away by Rice against Samara. Open look from about.
Sometimes not go her way.
Scott's pass for Emory Ellis was errant. Arkansas has now turned the ball over 4 times.
Hawkes is somebody that can come in and really push transition for them, and that's where you got to keep them off the glass in this game, and then somebody else is going to have to help her.
Iwala laid one in for the Bruins, averaging about 3.5 a game. That ball looked like it was partially deflected.
Kind of just threw it up there and got a nice finish.
13-0 UCLA run. Keats with the miss. Remember, Spencer has 2 fouls, so she's on the bench. Jaquez, she got drilled hard by Ellis. No call.
She got hammered. Arkansas will take it.
That's back-to-back misses from point-blank range. Duga Leach way off the mark.
She's not a great. You kind of want her being able to square up and shoot. She struggled early in this game. I'll tell you what, Arkansas's guards driving all they want. Dribble down the floor, go right to the basket. UCLA going to have to play better D.
That basket, though, ended a 13-0 Bruin run. Well, there's a lot of traffic in the paint.
Let's see if they go right to the basket again. Let's see if UCLA going to play any D.
Daniels on the drive to the rim and didn't finish, and then Daniels should have been called for a foul.
Yeah, Daniels will take it.
And Spencer's back in with her 2 fouls.
And she's looking to shoot it. She can drive. Muse can't guard her up there.
Poffenbarger against Duga Leach. That's a pretty left-handed scoop. This is really, though, a contrast in styles, isn't it, between these two teams, the way they go about their business?
Well, if Arkansas can just hang in there on the defensive glass, they'll win this game because they can drive it, and UCLA doesn't drive it as much.
Third time is a charm, though, and Londynn Jones knocks down the triple. A year ago, she made 47 of those as a freshman.
Yeah, she is very little, but she is very tough, and she can shoot the basketball. Talking about Londynn Jones, Riverside, California. outstanding lefty. Comes off the bench.
Well, Spencer going up against the 6'7"
Just
Lauren Betts.
drive it. They're just going to drive it again.
Poffenbarger does, but Arkansas's had a few of those. Now, they've been contested, but they've had opportunities to get 2 3-foot lay-ins and haven't done so. A steal by Spencer.
Yeah, they just contested. There's going to be another chance for a layup or an open three. See, they can't guard her. The big girl has got no chance.
Talia Scott to the rim, and she has 4 quick ones.
Yeah, they're going to have to make some changes at UCLA on, because it's just layup, drive, and I'm surprised at their athleticism at UCLA for some of their players. They're big. They play a little different style than Arkansas. Arkansas is much quicker.
About a 4-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Bruins trying to bleed a few of those seconds. That's an open look for Londynn Jones. Just hit a 3. Not this time. There's Betts, the rebound, and the putback. That's why she was the number 1 player in the class.
Gotta go fast. Get you a half-court shot.
Talia Scott for 3. No good.
To me, so far in this game has been their inability to keep Arkansas in front of them. Arkansas's drove it pretty much at will to the rack.
Scott's going to try again, and that was a hand check foul on the 6'7" Lauren Betts, about 18 feet from the basket.
Well, one unique thing that they're doing is they're doing some switching. And so, you know, if you're Arkansas, and Arkansas's got good coaches too, like UCLA, all you're going to do is go screen. Go screen and make Betts have to guard a quick one. And UCLA has got to get their defense figured out here.
See what adjustments were made. Yep.
They're just attacking.
Daniels, I thought she might challenge. Betts pulled back. Keats had that 3, partially deflected. Dowd on the catch.
Wide open.
And then Daniels hits the 3.
Yeah, UCLA is just a step slow. And remember, this is a program that's going to start traveling across the country for half of their conference games next year. And it is, they just look a little bit like right there. They didn't know where the ball was. The ball got deflected. And Jaquez had no idea where it was, but Arkansas's player knew where it was, went and got it, kicked it out. Daniels right side. Hits a big 3 when you're down 6.
Betts calling for the ball, spinning against Dowda, leaning in, banking one home. You can tell when she gets her position and gets those hands up high, it's almost automatic.
Yeah, she really is. She's strong with it. She's an impressive player.
Came in shooting 78% from the field. And again, Arkansas, no strangers to threes. They shot 41 of those in Tallahassee.
Yeah, Arkansas's really laying off 35 Brown. Not a big scorer, plays very hard, but you can tell they're just tearing her to shoot.
Thought Osborne had a good look. She'll kick it to Rice instead for an open 3 ball from the corner. That's a 2-pointer.
Yeah, she was a little bit close in, and a big shot right there, a good-looking shot. Here they are, Layupville.
Hey, that was crafty by Daniels to scoop it back from the right side with Betts laying off.
Yeah, they have really going to have to. UCLA's in a bind because they don't, if they get too far out, Arkansas is just blowing by them. If you lay off, Arkansas's got many shooters. It's interesting how UCLA is trying to figure it out on defense.
Pass was intercepted by Poffenbarger. Hey, her brother had a huge game yesterday in the FCS playoffs. Tell you more in a second. Dowda was going too fast and couldn't finish, and there's no whistle, so back come the Bruins, 5-on-4. That's a pretty good look, and Rice will drive for the reverse layup and score again.
Ooh, that was a nice drive right there. That's a technical foul on Coach Neighbors. He's mad about the play on the other end, but it's kind of been that way both sides, and Angelica Suffren will tee Coach Neighbors up.
Quick technical foul.
Yeah, and there's Coach's wife. Coach's wife. But this is good by Coach Neighbors because this will get the officials' attention. And normally, I was told in about the 7th grade at Wonderview Schools, when the coach gets a technical, that coach usually can get the next 3 calls. And I don't know how true that is, but it happens often. And so that was good. There was no call there, and it shouldn't have been no call, but it was the other end of the floor where there's the technical foul. It was the play before that. Most coaches, and that's why you get them, so you can get the next sum. Or late in the game, the official has it in the back of the mind. I called a T on this coach.
Well, what you're frustrated is if you don't get the foul, then it goes to the other end and you give up 2. So instead of getting a 2 or a 3, you give up 2. And that's a 4 or 5 point swing. Let's go back and look at this non-call on Dowda, which prompted the team.
Foul right here. You could call a foul. You could definitely call a foul. She wasn't going to. It was a little bit of an out-of-control layup, right? She was shooting a layup from like 8 feet away on the right side. I would have called it, but that was also an illegal screen right there, wasn't called. So it all kind of evens out sometimes. Got to get in front of this driver.
Poffenbarger's not set, but her length allows her to still block that shot. Osborne, open look at a 3, and this young lady is most certainly a scorer. She got the 2 points from the free throw line on the technical, buries the triple. Arkansas could use a hit. And see, this is a 12-point game now. Bruins trying to add to that.
That's a tough shot. You know, running down the floor. That's off. Running down the floor and kind of catch and gun a 3. You know, they got a lot of players they look tired. UCLA looks a little tired.
Been a physical game, frantic at times. Tuga Leach just barely moved the net as she drilled that 3. Oregon transfer, filling in for a young lady who's been injured this year, and Bessoir.
15-point game now. You got to start nipping away. This is it. That's the player you want doing it. Although you can't. That's not a bad shot. She can make that shot. We've seen her making it. Yeah, two big runs so far. I mean, your Arkansas, when you get the ball back, remember, there was just a technical about 2 minutes ago. Attack. Drive the basket. We can always kick it out and shoot a 3.
Betts, when she gets that position so difficult, scores again. She came in averaging 78% shooting percentage from the field, and she's 5 for 5 here this afternoon.
Yeah, she's just so big. Great low post position. Emory Ellis is battling her. See, Emory goes across there. Christina had just came in for the Razorbacks as well. Both of them took a hit at her. And give Betts credit. She's going up strong. And watching her in practice yesterday, she's got a nice little touch. See, everyone's going nuts. But if you just drive in against a 6'7" person and just throw it up, it's not going to be a foul. Just like right there, it wasn't a foul. She shot 52 foul shots already, Brett Dolan. She's made 46.
Betts with the catch. That's too easy. She'll lay it in again. When you win at Florida State, that's a big feather in your cap come March. This game's also another opportunity, but right now it's been all Bruins in this second quarter.
UCLA's not a big pressing team.
Betts again drawing a lot of attention when she catches.
See, they're a ball movement team. They're not like drive it to the basket team. See, they have to get to the basket with passes in the post and cutters. They're not a driving team.
Jones passes up the 3, takes the long 2, and that's a pretty move, and the lefty hits.
Yeah, that's a beautiful move, and that's how UCLA is. And I loved how Coach Close told us yesterday, we're not built like Arkansas as far as just being able to knock down 3s like this. Finding open spots again, just like they were in the first quarter.
3 of Arkansas's made 5s have come from Dowda and Ellis. And Rice, that's way too easy to blow by in the basket.
Yeah, Talia Scott got beat, so the weak side defender's got to come over and contest that shot. Can't just give Rice an open right-hand layup.
Spencer maybe trying to absorb a little contact, and it's made for a very physical football game at times.
Yeah, and Jaquez is really good. We saw her make that incredible layup. But Arkansas's athleticism has bothered her a little bit.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question on the next dead ball about the size, and it's out of bounds.
A couple of Arkansas's layups, they weren't going too fast, but some of them definitely. And the ones where they were falling and flying out of bounds and falling, you know, especially when it wasn't a foul, that's going to be 3 on Spencer.
That's 3 fouls away from the ball on Sam Spencer.
Well, she was guarding the ball there. She was guarding the ball, and she got beat. She got into her body. Jones is a good player.
Does Spencer need to use the baseline there, though, as her friend and get to that position?
Well, Jones got that first step and got around her. And so once you do that, you just got to stay with her and hope one of your teammates can get over there.
And help.
And then you've got the baseline as a defender, and there's nowhere for Jones to go. But good move by Jones to beat Spencer off the dribble.
Bruins shooting over 50% from the field as they normally do. They've added this lead, and Arkansas needs a few shots to fall.
Nice
Dowda's going to drive. How about that move? Pretty.
Nice drive. Well, they can drive, and we've been saying it. I've said it 15 times too much, they can get to the basket. And so you just got to keep driving it and keep being aggressive, because if you're Arkansas, you can get to the hoop.
And with Betts on the bench, maybe a little bit easier to get to the rim. Iwala got the position beyond Dauda and scored from point-blank range.
Yeah, that's a big basket for them. She's not a big scorer. She's strong, and she does a good job. She only averages 3 points a game.
Jaquez controlling for UCLA.
Okay, they've done a good job on her. She averages 16. Had that great drive basket, but has not had a lot else. Kayla Daniels had a lot of steals in her 5 seasons at Arkansas.
And UCLA's not been happy with some of their turnovers in the course of this season.
Oh, nice play by Rice. She blocked the shot, and then the ball came loose, and she hit the ball and saved it. And a great team will benefit from that. They come down, Jaquez wide open on the right wing, buries the shot. That was a big-time play by Kiki Rice.
50-point half by the Bruins. Arkansas holding for a final look.
Need a bucket.
On the drive. She'll go to the line and shoot a pair.
Look at this play right here, Brett Dolan. So she's going to block it. Now watch what she does. Boop! She hit it. It happened so fast you couldn't even see it. She hit it, boop! And she just knocked it back into her teammate. They push it down, and then they drill a 3 on the right wing. So Arkansas, make these 2 free throws, and whatever you do, don't let them score again here. Give yourself some confidence. 2 free throws. You've scored the last 2 points of the half. Don't let UCLA score. Better yet, steal it or turn them over. But if you can't do that, don't let UCLA score here. Look here.
1 of 2. Poffenbarger the rebound.
22 fumbled it around just to give you some momentum.
Hey, that's back-to-back games. Poffenbarger's hit a 3 at the end of the first half. She did it in Tallahassee. And the Razorbacks a 4-point sequence, and they needed that one badly.
And then the 4-point play right before halftime where UCLA didn't get a defensive rebound, and Arkansas kicked it out, and Poffenbarger drilled a beautiful 3 on the left side. Hogs would be down more, but it gives you momentum, and it gives Arkansas hope in the second half.
You saw those runs, though, at the bottom of that graphic. A 13-0 run, a 15-0 run by the Bruins. And what they do is specialize on points in the paint. I mean, see, this is a team, they average on the season about 44 points a game in the paint, and I think we're getting a pretty good idea how they do it.
Yeah, that's what they do. They're very patient in their offense. They're controlled, and that's what they do. They throw that ball inside the paint.
Open look for Osborne, the 5th-year senior, and she knocks down the 3. 123 career starts. She's the Michaela Daniels of this UCLA team.
She really is, and she's a 4th all-time leading scorer, good basketball player, and opened the half hitting a 3-pointer.
Mike Neighbors joked when he scheduled this game, he thought she'd be off to the WNBA. She came back, and then Betts transferred from Stanford.
Great pass by Sailor Poffenbarger right there. A little dribble around play. Look wide open. Good contest by Michaela, but Osborne, good player, drills it. And on the other end, Arkansas, little dribble through, dribble around. Boop! Kiki got beat a little bit off of a cut, and Michaela Daniels made her pay.
Osborne making her 123rd, so these 5th-year seniors with experience trying to lead their teams. And right now the Bruins trying to stay undefeated. Remember, they took down UConn easily. 5 players average double figures.
That's what you need if you're Arkansas. Turnovers, push it, get a 3 right here. Get an open 3 or drive and get a layup.
Taken right back by Kiki Rice, and then the foul.
You got to get Talia the ball there. She's either got to drive it or go ahead and pull up and shoot that 3-pointer. Arkansas had a great 3rd quarter against Florida State.
Her first 2 for UCLA. You're right, the Hogs had an amazing 3rd quarter in Tallahassee. But the Bruins trying to extend this advantage a little bit more. For the game, shooting 55% from the field. And again, this is what they've done. And see, sometimes when you draw 2-3 players underneath like Betts, whether she scores to really cover a lot of ground.
Nice post entry from the left deep side by Cameron Brown, the 5'11 grad from Louisville, Texas, and that was a really nice play.
Nice drive from Spencer, but that's another one of those drives that has come up empty.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Frustrating for Arkansas. Here you got to get a defensive stop. Wall up, make them shoot over the top of you.
High percentage looks. That's a travel on. Hogs have defeated one team in their history that has been ranked number 2, and that was UCLA. Have to go back to 2003. That was the challenge coming in as Betts blocks it, but out of bounds. 90-80 in overtime. So these teams have only played that one time.
Yeah, and I was here at that time, and I was it was my senior year. The men at Arkansas made the Final Four. Good move. Brett Dolan, Arkansas can't get rid of Amber Nicholas.
Well, she found my keys that were stolen after the last game, so we can't go without her. Well, you get the number 1 player, Betts, out of the transfer portal after 1 year. Jaquez knocks it away.
Jaquez said, I ain't playing my best, but I'm going to make a defensive play.
In the game against UConn with those 24 points, we're seeing Betts do what she does today. They're accumulating a lot of top-tier talent.
Yeah, that's great recruiting. Recruiting's the everything.
Drive to the basket by Scott.
She has struggled a little bit, 2 for 11. When you're a great player, you start getting to that line, you start making those. Next thing you know, he's making those shots. She's got a much greater chance to hit her next three-pointer, her next driving layup, her next pull-up, because she just sank 2 foul shots.
Yeah, score is score. Even at the end of that first half at Florida State, I don't even know if she had any points, and then she finished with 24 with a strong second half. But the Hogs will need that and more, trying to limit what the Bruins can do. They've outscored Arkansas by 7 here in the third quarter. That was a tough catch just to grab it, and then backing in is Uwala, and she'll score again.
Yeah, great move there by Uwala, and she's making up for that missed defensive rebound from the first half. And that was a hard entry pass, as you said. See, Talia Scott.
B says the team has been wonderful in welcoming her despite her late join to the team, and is especially close to teammate Christina Sanchez, bonding over their shared love for Latin music artist Bad Bunny. It looks like B. Franklin was the perfect fit as a support role for this team. Brett?
I tell you what, she's a competitor, though, Z, and I don't know if she'll get much playing time. And Saylor called for the travel.
I mean, this is the SEC midfielder of the year. She's like a scholar athlete. She's got all these incredible honors from her soccer career at Arkansas. And you know what? She could have just rode off into the sunset, Brett Dolan. She said, hey, I can play basketball too. and they need that 3. And Coach Hale said, you know what, Coach Z, she can play tennis also. And so she's just a very talented young lady.
There's Londynn Jones. Threes aren't quite falling, but there's a nice putback by Muse, who was a McDonald's All-American.
Well, you just saw why.
That's Duga Leach.
Oh, yeah. Well, she jumped up and caught it in the air and made UCLA, they take their time when they need to. Coach is mad. Coach Close is mad over they missed something on that play.
Well, they sure did.
She was mad to see if they can overcome it and score here.
Osborne, no, I thought we were going to have a carry.
Coach talked about that yesterday in practice, Coach Close. I don't want all these turnovers.
Felt like there were some empty possessions, even in the game where they pretty much throttled UConn. UConn had the one good quarter in the second. That's an open look. Osborne can't hit, but another offensive rebound. Just throwing it back up was too. Poffenbarger can't hit. That was one of the few passes. You know, Boston was a lot to handle. To me, it feels like, Z, this Bruins team has more compliments in size to Betts than did South Carolina to Boston.
Yeah, you're right. Boston was a great rebounder. I remember that game where we went to and South Carolina. Duke was playing very well early, but South Carolina beat them. She's made her free throws today. See if she can make this one. Soft touch. She shot that one a little bit lower. She had a little bit.
Yeah, again, the shooting percentage is so good, both from the field, three-point line, free throw line. And, you know, this is a mismatch nightmare when it comes to the Bruins. Jaquez trying to add something to this team as well. It's recruiting.
Yeah, Jaquez's dad, he's probably listening. Hello, sir. When I was working the NCAA tournament, women's basketball, and said, hey, I want to let you know, I'm planning on being a UCLA Bruin.
How about that?
And and then her brother got to come, and he had a great career at UCLA. I don't think they had to recruit her very hard. I think that the dad had that lined up.
Betts was posting up in the paint.
They do is post entry, and Golly.
Boy, Brown just blocked the three on Talia Scott, and that's a...
She's a really good defensive player, energy player for UCLA. Played 9 so far.
Brown shooting for her 4th point. This is her 5th year. She was the young lady who was in the McDonald's All-American game with Talia Scott. Muse had 18 in that game. Scott took a couple of big charges.
Great talent. Going to be a good player at Arkansas.
We're going to talk about Bay maybe a little bit later on. He's from Senegal, and UCLA made a trip this summer to Senegal, but we'll tease that for the 4th quarter. Meanwhile, Scott reaches double figures. Poffenbarger already there, the 2 Razorbacks.
I like the press. I like Coach Neighbors saying, hey, we're going to pick them up full court. We're going to get after them. If you're Arkansas here, you got to get a stop at the end of this quarter. Don't make them take a tough shot. Go clear that defensive board.
See if they'll use all of the time and run down the 3rd. Muse really posting up, wanting the ball. Jaquez after the pump fake.
Nice fake.
The drive, and that will end the 3rd quarter.
They said, Coach said, one of her assistants, Tony Noonan, said, hey, we need to make this call at this time. I mean, and she's like, it's going to be 1:30 in Europe, and Coach did it. And that's what coaches will do, whatever in recruiting. That's smart, and it paid off.
Talia Scott on the drive, scoops with the right hand, can't get it to drop, but she'll shoot free throws.
Yeah, and I think if you're Coach Neighbors, you come back and win, it's going to be tough in a 10-minute quarter. You build on this. There's more games to play. There's a long season ahead. Let's get feeling good. Let's get to UCLA doesn't have a 12th or 13th or 14th man to play.
Quite honestly, good teams don't need 14, 15 players. There's Jaquez scoring because
she's another one. Miriam Dowda needs to have a good 4th quarter here for Arkansas.
There's the catch, and there's the lay-in.
Use these games all to your benefit.
Jaquez with a shot clock winding down, had to hoist, and the rebound to Carly Keats. Poffenbarger took a seat at the bench, so Arkansas is going a little bit small themselves. Dowda with the miss.
Oh, gosh.
Boy, Daniels went flying. Right.
They're into their bench pretty good now. They've put their 10th player in, Ansley, so they're gone pretty far down, and they don't have any other subs to play.
Intercepted and taken away. Rice on the push. From the corner, it's Londynn Jones and Jaquez.
Brett, how pretty is her shot as Talia Scott, and we've seen her in practice wear it out. So you know that she can shoot it a lot better than she has. But the good thing is she's been in attack mode. Let's see what she does on this break.
There's a step back 3. Whoa. She's going to have a chance for 4. If she makes this free throw, she'll have 20.
Well, and she's, if Coach keeps her in, which he probably will, she's going to have a chance to score 30 or 30-something. And how about this? And UCLA.
Close wants is not as many turnovers. And turnovers, listen, when you're a team that shoots like they do, when you turn the ball over 20 times, you're taking away those possessions. You feel like.
Wow. She is wearing UCLA out. And the one she's wearing out now, she was shooting over the little guard, Jones, but now she said, I'm going to take it over Rice.
Bruins forcing a few shots, and that was blocked. And that's going to be a foul on Jaquez.
It was a 30-point game, 0 fouls on Arkansas. And I think this will maybe be a factor for UCLA in a hot NCAA tournament game.
So someone needs probably to step up and hit a shot. Arkansas hoping they can get another stop defensively.
Well, I don't think she wanted to play Osborne no more, but she had to. That's a block or just a bad miss.
It's going to be a shot clock violation.
Yeah. Well, a lot of games left this season. We're just now into December, so she's going to break a lot of records. And the COVID time was really bad, but that's the advantage for someone like her. She got that whole extra year to play, and she's taking advantage of it. She's not the only one in the country, and that is ace quickly and kind of get back in it.
Iwala can't coax it in, and I think it should be
foul. And they've just not scored much. I mean, they've got 5 points in the 4th quarter. Talking about the number 2,
right?
But they are smacking UCLA in press, and if you're UCLA, you better wake up.
Heard a lot about the press preseason. Haven't seen a lot of it in the non-con. We will now.
Turnover.
And that's a turnover.
UCLA's been stuck on 77. These 5 have played well.
That's a 2 for Scott, but it may have been partially deflected and taken away. And no surprise, Kiki Rice is going to try and control this tempo for the remaining
if you're
3:30.
UCLA, let's see if Arkansas can get to 77, okay? And if they do, how many does UCLA have? So if you're Arkansas, you're trying to chase 77. And don't give them no points. Don't give UCLA anything.
Dugalich, there's Betts back in the game, and again.
Yeah, and I'll give Coach Close credit. She took her out way early, and I don't know if she thought it was game or didn't need her anymore, but she had to put her back in. That's a credit to Arkansas. She's so good. Betts has had just a tremendous game.
Only played about 9.5 minutes a game a year ago at Stanford, so you can allocate those as best you can. But she cut off Scott on that drive. Now Keats against Dugalich.
Michael McConnell called the foul, or maybe the other one did. There's been a lot of fouls in advantage of that. 13 of 16 from the foul line, 14 of 7.
Bruins might bleed as much of that shot clock as they possibly can. There's Betts open again against Lawrence, and she will score.
UCLA record books, that's kind of the standard among all schools.
What did Bill Walton miss? One field goal in that championship game against Memphis?
I think he was 21 of 22.
I do too.
In the game against Memphis.
Jaquez with a quick three. Rebound. Daniels got her hand on it. Then Lawrence came up with it. And we're inside 2 minutes to play.
This was a 5-quarter game. Arkansas could come back and win it, but it's not. It's a 4, and they're not going to be able to win.
That's an NBA range from Talia Scott. And again, I don't question that because you need quick shots and points, but a rebound to Kiki Rice.
Oh, that was a great defensive rebound by Kiki. Wow. What a good player. I mean, you walk in here and you can see that she's got. So we saw Coach Musselman earlier, and he said, man, you don't take but a couple seconds to figure out that number 1 Rice is a really good player.
Coach Close said against UConn she had a hunter's mentality, and maybe she doesn't always have that. When she turns it on, it's pretty special. Rebound to Betts, and we're going to have a jump.
Good job, Michaela Daniels. Got a jump out of it.
Hey, there's only 1.5 on the shot clock. They have to go fast, and UCLA does not realize that. I know there's been a couple of moments in this fourth quarter that have not been as enjoyable as other portions, but everything's a learning segment or game, and there's been a little bit of that because there have been.
And Arkansas 21-9 in this fourth quarter, 22-9 now. In practice tomorrow and the next day is how great we played in the fourth quarter. Yeah, you were down 30, but UCLA is a great basketball team. They're the number 2 ranked team in the country.
Hey, Betts got her 10th rebound for a double-double, and that is a traveling.
I think, and then it's hard for them just to drive it. And part of it's because they got Lauren Betts in there, and she's such a great low-post presence that there's not a gap to just drive it all the time. But sometimes you got to be able to do this. Sometimes you got to be able to put it on the deck and drive, come up with loose balls. A lot of minutes.
Does reset the shot clock now, so the Bruins can probably just watch these final 13 seconds tick away, and they will improve to 7-0 in the season. Arkansas would fall to 7-2.
Yeah, we'll see the coaches, and they've known each other. Coach Neighbors had a great run at Washington in the Pac-12, and good coaches, both of them really good. The staffs respect each other, and